You guys are going to love this topic. We're going to be talking about the amazing Earth School, spiritual laws of the universe, explained and easy to understand. And I literally mean easy to understand. If you haven't seen Hans's videos, please make sure to check them out and join his YouTube channel and check out his website. All the links are in the description. He has the most unique way of describing very complex questions about the universe that we all want to know about in the most easiest way I've ever seen described. It's really extraordinary. He's also the author. He's a mystic author and illustrator of over 200 books for all ages. His books have sold over 40 million copies. Congratulations. That is massive. And they're translated into 30 languages. As a mystic, he inspires audiences around the world with his life-affirming concepts to create your own inner wisdom. He's created over 130 short YouTube videos. Literally, what I was just talking about, how he literally uses visual. You'll see a whiteboard. It's very unique to explain the spiritual laws of the universe. You can watch him draw these dynamic laws and see how he connects all the dots. You guys are it's fantastic. This unique visual presentation has made his videos so successful that they've been watched over by 18 million viewers. So obviously Hans is onto something very powerful. The videos are also available for free on www.lifeexplained.com, his YouTube channel, and also his Facebook. All the links are in the description. Also, make sure to get his monthly newsletter. All you have to do is subscribe to his website. It'll pop up, fill in your email, and you will join his soul family and learn more about what he does.
My brother, welcome. How are you?
Welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm absolutely thrilled and delighted.
Yeah. Look, and congratulations for you being able to get your life's work out at this kind of magnitude. That's a great thing. It's a great example to let people know what's possible. So congrats for you on that. I want to dive in with you, if I can, get the audience to get to know you. This concept of a great awakening that we hear about, that's just thrown out there. Can you talk to us about your version of what was your great awakening, pivoting you to what you're doing now? And really, how did you really define what that actually meant to you?
Well, I can only speak of my personal awakening. I think it came because I didn't believe the teachings that the organized churches gave us when I was a young person. And I had a very inquiring mind, and I tried to find out there must be more to it. This was well before Google and internet. So I searched and searched, and luckily through the Beatles, I learned transcendental meditation, which already helped me to get my mind, my busy mind, sort of calm down again, which was a major step. When you're a teenager, I mean, the thoughts in the head of a teenager are disastrous, I think, for most, particularly for the males. So anyway, then came Edgar Cayce and many, many other paths. And 40 years ago, I came across this one path taught directly from the absolute reality today, in today's language, through a woman in Germany. Her name is Gabriele. You won't find her on the internet because she doesn't want any personality cult, and only her books are available. And you can always find my books on my website, where you just go to book recommendations, and there are all the books which I use for my videos. That is my main source of information for my videos. Of course, I use all the other information I've gathered throughout these years as well. And I share this now just only as somebody who, I share for two reasons. First of all, for myself to understand these laws, because when I read something, I have to see it in front of me. That's why I'm also an illustrator and writer, because
I love your method.
Visual. So I must see that point, part A belongs to part B, and so on. I have to see that. Then it makes sense to me. So, and then I share that, and anybody who is interested and likes it and gets benefit from it is welcome. I have no interest to convert anybody, convince anybody. This is what I understand the spiritual laws mean at the moment. If anybody finds benefit from it, great. And if not, also great. So I'm merely offering the material. There is no commercial in it. There is nothing to sell. And the material I also share. There is no membership. There is no teachers in this. This is a path between each person and God directly. This is very important. So there is nobody in between, so that we can all go directly on this path. And And I said, the wonderful part, if you have read, I'm sure you have read Edgar Cayce and Rudolf Steiner, they are very complicated texts, and you have to read each sentence 3 times to and know what they mean. In today's language, these new informations, or these more deeper informations, are very clear, and there are no misunderstandings. And I like it. You read in today's language these very deep spiritual laws, and that's how I share them, and that's how I could. It was not my intention to do this. I was pushed by my father after he was dead to do that. And he came through a medium, and he said, you have to share this with other people. Because I wasn't going to do that. That was not my main income. My main income in my livelihood was actually to be an author and illustrator and writer, but not so much in the spiritual field, more for children. And but then it came, and my father spoke to me and said, I have to share this. And I took him by the word and did it. And this was 10 years ago. And now we are here and have shared it with many, many people. And I'm happy that the response is so amazing and so open. It shows there are many, many people searching. And as you say, there is a greater awakening coming up. Definitely, I believe that too, generally, collectively, people are waking up much more, because times are getting very critical and very difficult. And particularly when we have serious crisis generally in a life, or in a personal life, that is usually a time of reflection and says, wow, what is this all about? Why am I here? Where do I come from? And where am I going? These 3 important questions.
That's why another reason I resonate with your delivery is because it's practical information that people can utilize immediately to start transforming their life from the get-go. And I think that is so important right now. There's no fluff. It's not airy-fairy. It is practical information that can be applied. I would love to know your take on, do we create our own reality?
Every moment, every thought we're having, every action we do, yes, of course, we create every moment of our life. Unknowingly, most people aren't aware of it, how we do that. But of course, we create whatever we are feeling, sensing, thinking, saying, and doing. That is our reality at the moment. And unfortunately, most of it is not necessarily coming from a loving spot. It usually comes more from the needy spot. And when we do that, then of course we create what is generally called a negative karma, which is nothing as a consequence. And the karma, this law of karma is a law of consequence, which means we send something out, it comes back to us. If we send something needy and negative out, that negative thing comes eventually back to us. It's very simple, very straightforward. Anybody who will watch my video can see, for instance, when I show karma here, the person does something bad to someone else, and I show how it's stored in the Akashic records, in the repository planets, and how they come back. I mean, in the videos, it's much easier to understand than if I explained it right now here.
So when you take a look at life explained, if you would, just as a concept of like explained, and we take a look at people who are going through critical times. So is it our job, if you would, like to be able to, because there's certain people that have the negative thoughts, they go to the needy places, if you would, and then there's certain people that break through that. What do you think the characteristics of those people are doing? What are they doing from your experience that has found out why there's a large part of the population that is, boom, feeling the critical times, and then there is, albeit small, there's a smaller part of the population that is not necessarily feeling it. They're enjoying heaven on earth, if you would. And I'm not necessarily even talking financial, but what would you say some of the disciplines that they're embarking upon that are letting them live that way?
I'm not saying, I don't believe there is any special discipline. I believe that each life can have ups and downs. So and this is there for a purpose, so that we learn from it. And so there may be periods, people who are presently in a very positive period and everything goes well for them. I don't necessarily say that they're using or doing something different, because we all have an ups and downs to the way. But the main idea of when things are going too well for us and we are really up in every way, then of course it's very easy for us to forget why we are here. And so it may appear as something wonderful to have just a wonderful ride and everything is going well. And if you believe the Facebook kind of images or Instagram images, which are all fake, then it may be that the person may miss his or her purpose in life as well. Because we are here in a school, And it's in a school, every day has got lessons for us to understand. Yeah, I also would say, Jay, we must be very careful by the images that other people try to give us, particularly through Facebook, Instagram, and so on. When we say, oh, they have a wonderful life, when they're on their own, many people are not having this wonderful life. And the loneliness, even for the already rich and wealthy and happy people, is extremely strong at the moment. And one of, I think, the major problem in our society. So the smiling faces of people who are doing very well can be very deceiving. There may be many, many layers underneath which they do not want to share and which are very personal. But you see sometimes people who are having everything and they're happy, and tomorrow they commit suicide.
Right.
Why? Because they just haven't shared their inner life with anyone else.
I want to follow up on that, but I actually want to go back to the one about the creating new reality. How do you explain to people, because I'm totally in agreement, we create our own reality, but how do you explain to people when they say, well, I didn't create my own reality, I didn't ask to get raped, I didn't ask to get abused, I didn't get asked to grow up in poverty? I've noticed so much is that the intuition that I am receiving on a daily basis, the messages are so clear, and they come in like, you hear a lot of people talking about, I get a download of this and a download of that. And that is the God's honest truth. Messages are just literally flooding in because the pineal gland is being decalcified.